All right, here we are. We are ready to get started. This is once again my hardest battle yet against Pel. My first battle in the elimination round. It is going to be a best 2 out of 3, so we do have 2 coming up for you. It's going to be tough. I don't know. I really don't have a whole lot of faith, but no, even if I lose, it'll be a fun experience, I'm sure. So let's get into it. Let's give it a shot. Let's see how it goes. As always, I do have things very much planned out, but I don't know if they're going to work as planned. Here we are. As expected somewhat, he's starting with the Dragapult. I would have expected him previously to start with his Aerodactyl. However, he has a brand new Dragapult on his team, and I'm sure he is itching to see how it works. I'm itching to see what it has. So I'm starting out with my Vegeta, getting a good scout on the man. We're going to see what this thing can do, because this is very easily my biggest threat. If this Dragapult knows the right moves, it can completely screw me over. I can almost just lose to this if it has the right attacks. So let's find out. It would have to be pretty much perfect to end the game right now. I'm not sure. And this is taking a pretty long time, which has me a little bit worried. Okay, there we go. Lovely Kiss is his first attack. I can't say I was expecting that. Okay. Sure.
Who's that Pokemon?
And I mean, he's trying to put me to sleep. I don't want to go to sleep, but we'll see if he has any success. I do fall asleep this time. So here we are, Sleepy Credilli. I did burn the first turn of sleep already though, so it's kind of nice. That's what I didn't want to see. He did just hit me with a Dragon Hammer. That's not good. That's close to worst case scenario. Oh, I really didn't want to see that. Okay, we're in trouble. Let's see how this is gonna work for us. That's really, really bad. Immensely bad. Hard to explain how bad that is. Okay. Switching into the dick. Gotta show my dick. He resists it very well. He definitely does. There's no doubt about that. The problem is what's gonna happen next. This is where it all comes together here. Oh man, what is he gonna do? I'm not sure. I clicked the wrong move. I just realized. I shouldn't do that. I should be a little bit more careful. It doesn't make a huge difference, but it's definitely not my best click there. All right. What are you gonna do against my dick? That's the question, buddy. Dragapult versus Steelix. Does he have something that can hit this? If he has a ghost move, it could do damage. But it would have to be a pretty good one. It does give me a little bit of a chance to see. Okay, that's good to know. Mudsdale comes in. Interesting. I don't mind getting a tiny bit of damage on that, even though I could have done slightly more had I done this differently. Mudsdale is a slight problem, isn't it? Okay. This is already, again, not going how I wanted it to. I have options, but they're problematic. All right, let's do it this way. lots of different ways to play this game, and they all are going to lead to very different endings. So it's really tough. It's definitely tough. So Dragonite is a safe switch in to this. Oh, okay, never mind. No, it's not. He goes into Melodic, which is actually not a big problem either. But that was a great read on his part. I definitely can't take damage on the dragon. That did literally 1 damage. So that's why the Melodic's actually not a big problem, because it's just super walled by Cloyster. It definitely can't touch me, to the point where it makes sense for me to click Icicle Spear myself, because he can't stay in. I can do damage to him. I don't know if he knows that. He'll find out eventually. But it makes sense for me to keep on clicking Icicle Spear, expecting him to eventually switch. So this is actually a much better position than I was expecting to be in. When I switched into my Dragonite, I don't really want my Dragonite to take any damage at all. Ideally. We'll see. Because if it takes any damage, it doesn't do something that I maybe need it to do. This is going to be such a hard battle. This is nuts. This is going to take a long time too. Looks like he's thinking. It's taking quite a long time, which is getting me unnecessarily nervous for him. He switches into Hitmonlee, which is going to take some decently... It's going to take a big hit. Okay. This is... I mean, I'm kind of glad to see that he brought his Hitmonlee, because I'm not that worried about it. And I once again have quite a few options to dealing with this. It's hard to say which one's the best, because they all are slightly different. I'm actually going to go Haxorus here. Dragonite would be really good too. But I think I want to try and keep the Dragonite healthy. So I'll take some Rolling Kick damage, not that much. And now we start to be in this part where we have a really big threat. Dragon Hammer, Haxorus. Find something that does more damage. It's hard to find. And we'll see what he brought, because it could make a big difference. If he doesn't have a switch into this Dragon Hammer, something's going down. This Haxorus is such a huge threat. It's really hard to switch into. He has one thing that can switch into it, but I don't know if he brought it. Right now, we know that he has Dragapult, Melodic, Hitmonlee, and yeah, the horse too. So we've seen 4 of his already. I'm expecting he brought the Aerodactyl. I'm expecting he brought the Arcanine. So that would be all 6. But if he didn't bring those, then I don't know. He switches into a Abomasnow, which is interesting. And this is exactly what I was talking about. Look at that damage. That's a 2-hit KO. It's so hard to switch into Haxorus. If he has Ice Shard, which he doesn't, he could have done some damage to me there. But that's our first KO, and that's a really nice one. Good to get that out of the way. That Abomasnow could have possibly caused some trouble. And so it's really good to get that out of the way. That's our first kill. So Dragapult comes back in. As far as I know, my Steelix walls it. I could be wrong. He kind of had to click Dragon Hammer there. And I still haven't seen his Ghost move, which could make a big difference still. It's hard to say at this point. But I once again have no reason to not click Drill Run. I wonder if he... So there's... He definitely has something that he didn't bring that I expected him to. It's either the Arcanine or the Aerodactyl. Either one, it's... I'm really happy that he didn't bring those, because those are both huge threats. He puts me to sleep. It's whatever. It doesn't really... It's not that... He's going to try and 1v1 me, which is a huge mistake on his part. Like, yeah, he can put me to sleep and get off free hits, but I'm gonna wake up, and even if it takes me like 5 hits, I'm still gonna kill this eventually. And once this Dragapult goes down, this game is almost over. He puts me to sleep again. Kind of obnoxious, but again, this is a really big mistake. Okay, so he switches into Melodic here, which is what he needed to do, because he apparently cannot deal with the Steelix, which is nice. I was really hoping that was going to be the case. That was kind of the only chance of me really winning, was having some kind of answer. He switches. He's doing some nice switches, and it is working out quite well for him. The question is, how much do I need the Cloyster? I don't even know if I do, but I have a free sack in Credilli, which will get me another kill. So that's the choice that I'm gonna make. The Credilli is asleep. It kind of had an okay matchup, but it's not worth it. I can bring in Haxorus for free again, and it gets another kill with Dragon Hammer. One way or another. And we are bringing the bop. There is a reason why I nicknamed this thing Bop, is because he brings the hammer. The opponent has a hammer too. That the hammer from the Dragapult is scary. Don't get me wrong, but ain't nothing like a Haxorus hammer. We're bringing the Bop. We're in a good position here. I wish the Dragapult did go down. It's still alive, but just barely. And he is apparently picking a sack right now. I don't think he has much of a choice. No matter what he brings in, it's going to die. Or he can stay in and that'll die too. Haxorus Dragon Hammer. Really, really strong. So he goes back into Dragapult, which is pretty much the correct play. I have 2 options now. I can go back into Steelix, and that's probably the best choice. There's kind of no reason not to, because Steelix doesn't do anything else. So that is what I'm gonna end up doing, but Cloyster would have also been fine here. Misses his sleep. Wouldn't have made a big difference if it hit, to be honest. Would have been kind of nice for him, but he's probably going to put me to sleep again, because he seems to really like doing that. Oh, he missed his Lovely Kiss. You got to be careful with that. Lovely Kiss is really nice, but it does miss. And that's a dead Dragapult. It's 2 down. And again, that's the biggest threat on his team by far. That Dragapult being down means that my Haxorus is now the fastest. Oh, that's not true. He might have brought his Aerodactyl. If his Aerodactyl's in the game, then his Aerodactyl's faster than me. But if it's not, then the Haxorus is the fastest. We still haven't seen if he brought the Arcanine or the Aerodactyl. It's definitely going to be one of the 2. I'm just not sure which one. 3 down. Oh, yeah, good catch. Damn. I missed the him only. Him only is down 2. Okay, so there is 3 down. I did forget about that. Thank you for that catch. I've been marking them on my screen because I have pictures of them that I can... Ah, there's the Aerodactyl. And this is interesting that he brought this in. The fact that he brought this in says to me that he's going for a crazy play. His Aerodactyl does no fissure, and that's the only thing that does damage to me. So he kind of has to click fissure here, which is a 30% chance of 1-hit KOing me and 70% chance of missing. He switched back into Melodic. I'm not sure what that was about. I don't know why he did that. That was kind of confusing to me. But Cloyster's pretty free still. I'm not sure what he's trying to do. He's kind of confusing me a little bit. But it makes sense for me to click Icicle Spear here. He does have a chance of killing me in 1 hit. It's a non-zero chance. But he would have to get 5 hits or 4 hits and a crit with his Rock Blast. So the odds are in my favor of this going well for me. Rock move is Rock Blast. He seems to be thinking again, which is interesting because he had a great play. He he knew that I was bringing my, he presumably knew that I was bringing in my Cloister to fight the Melodic. Here's the Rock Blast. So again, we're going to see how many hits this does. There's 1. There's 2. There's 3. We don't want 5. There's 4. Actually, it looks like even if he hit me 5 times, it still wouldn't have killed. When I did my calculations, I assumed that all of his Pokemon had maximum IVs in everything. I got 4 hits as well, so the Aerodactyl's down, and now I have complete speed control. So he is in really big trouble right now. But yeah, when I did my calculations, I don't know what his IVs are, so I have to assume that he has perfect IVs and everything. Obviously, he probably doesn't, and that's why that did a little bit less damage than I thought it might. So he's going to be using Growth on Melodic, and he's going to have to Growth a lot if he wants to do any damage. You saw that that Icicle Spear only hit my Cloister for 1 damage. It's going to be doing 2 damage now. Aqua Tail's here. That's going to do a little bit more. But the Melodic's low enough now that Jolteon kills it. And so now it's going to be down to whoever that... Oh, wait. Am I miscounting again? Ah, that's right. I forgot about the horse. The Mudsdale is the last one. So the Arc... He didn't bring the Arcanine, which is interesting. He's got a Fire Blast Arcanine. It's pretty scary. Is he going to be able to kill me here? Looks like he does. And I'm actually not going to show the Jolteon because I don't have any reason to. I don't think I showed the Dragonite either. Oh, no, I did. But I switched out. I didn't even use it, which is good. Haxorus comes in and he should take this game. Bop! Bringing out the hammers. Jigglypuff. What's going on, buddy? How you doing? Whew. Feels nice to get the first one out, but it's only slightly reassuring because he did play well. He out-switched me. That's for sure. There was a few switches. He did some doubles on me, which were really good doubles. And so this game is not over. It's a best of 3. So it's gonna be interesting. I fully expect him to be able to learn from any mistakes he made this game and come in game 2 much stronger because of it. But until then, that's the first GG. Nice. Okay. He's ready for round 2. And I am as well. So let's get to it. Yeah. We'll see if my slight changes to strategy are enough to keep me ahead, or if his slight changes to strategy are going to make the difference and tie this up 1-1. I'm not sure, but we're going to find out very shortly here. Let's do it. Did make a slight order switch to my team. He did as well. Very interesting. That's not what I wanted to see. That's actually worst case scenario. I would have been a lot better off starting with Cradily still. Very interesting. But I get to see his moveset, which is nice. Grass Pledge. That's scary too. Doesn't do too much to Cradily, so that's nice. His whole team is not going to be doing so great against a Rock Slide, so I'm fine with that. Good to know that there's a Grass Pledge on that thing. Cradilly's really good. It's really easy to underestimate Cradily, but Cradily has all the tools he needs to get things done. Man, it's gonna be hard. He's smart. He really is. You can tell that he knows what he's doing. That was a great change, I think. I think starting with Abomasnow makes a lot of sense. brings in the melodic, which is very interesting. I don't know if that's smart, but it is interesting. I don't think I lose this. What is he doing? He's trying to get fancy on me. Look at this guy. He's maybe trying to get a little too fancy, and that's not going to be very good for him. If I'm just firing off attacks while he switches left and right, that is more than okay with me. That's the power of Cradilly. I mean, if I have a good matchup against the things that he's switching in, I'm going to stay in. And if he's going to try and read me like that, it's going to cause him some trouble. Let's see if he's able to fix that mistake. I wonder why. Was that a scout? Does he not know my Cradilly set? Maybe he wanted to see if I had a grass attack. I do. That could have been what that was. Okay, he's staying in. If I can take out this Abomasnow, it's going to be really nice for me. And I do 2-hit KO. He can't kill me with this attack. The Abomasnow is actually pretty much dead, because now it's low enough health that most of my stuff is much faster than it and can kill it. So I would love to hit this attack, and I did, but even if I missed, it wouldn't have been the end of the world. And we do have our first KO once again. Abomasnow, not gonna do it for him this time. And if we're lucky, we won't be going to a game 3, and he won't do it the third time either. Cradilly's fat. He is. He's he does a good job. Vegeta, man, don't underestimate Vegeta. All right, Aerodactyl is in. Not a bad play. Doesn't make sense to switch here. I kind of can, but Cradilly's not that fast. Cradilly's more for taking hits and doing return damage. I don't really have much reason to save this. I think it's slower than everything he has left. I don't think it's gonna live by any means, but you know, yeah, it's dead. So this is kind of tough. The Aerodactyl's in, and the Aerodactyl's a big problem, and I have lots of ways to deal with it, but it's hard to say which way is best. I'm gonna go with this way. The Cloyster pretty much beats everything on his team too, and based on what he saw last game, I don't think he's going to want to trade out his Aerodactyl for my Cloyster like he did last game. And so that's actually kind of a benefit to me, because I wonder if I should have a mistake. I might have just made a mistake slightly. It's possible that he brings his Arcanine this game, and if he did, I should have clicked Water Shuriken to be safe. It's hard. It's tough. There's lots of different ways that he can play it, and they make a big difference. If he switches straight into Arcanine, that's kind of his best play, I think. He doesn't have anything else that can take it. He might not have brought Arcanine. I don't know. Okay, Jolteon comes in. I don't know how well this takes an Icicle Spear. It looks like it's doing kind of okay. The Jolteon's actually really not that big of a threat. I'm not too worried about the Jolteon.
You must be the slouchiest guy in Brooklyn.
Oh man, I got really lucky and got a 5-hit on the Icicle Spear. I kind of feel bad about that. I really hate getting hit by 5 hits on anything that can hit 5 times. It just really feels bad. But that's Pokemon. I have to take advantage of my situation. I click Water Shuriken, and that's a dead Jolteon. I do feel bad though. Sorry about that. Forgive me. Yeah, Icicle Spear is really, really strong. It's actually even stronger on Cloyster in the real game, because Cloister gets access to skill link, which means that you always hit 5 times. And I heard that it sounds like we're never going to get abilities in PCG, possibly. But if this Cloister specifically ever got access to skill link, he'd be crazy. This is like the perfect Cloister for skill link. And as expected, there's the water shuriken. Unfortunate for him, but that's how it goes. And that is 2 KOs for us right at the start. Only 1 down on our side. It's a great start, really is. Pretty lucky again. The only way that it would have happened this way is if I got exactly 5 hits. So very, very unlucky for him. I'm kind of surprised that he brought his Jolteon. The Jolteon doesn't really have that great of a matchup against me anyway. Here's the Grand Bull, which is kind of interesting. I kind of thought he might bring that. There's a good reason for him to have brought that. And the Grand Bull actually does do pretty well against my Cloister. Maybe even surprisingly so. But I do have other options, so it's not that big of a deal. Yeah, it's kind of weird. This is a weird matchup because we're doing about even damage to each other, but he's recovering damage and I'm not. I've got a few different ways of matching up with this. I'm gonna go into Jolteon here. His Jolteon matches up with it fairly well. And I want to keep my dick healthy, which is my Steelix. All right, Zappy boy. I'm actually going to predict here because I don't really have a reason not to. He shouldn't stay in. If he does, that's fine. It's not a big deal if he does. So this is kind of a prediction that it works for me either way. That's the kind of predictions I like to make. A healthy dick is a happy dick. That's exactly right, Aim. That's exactly right. So I would expect him to switch into his horse because it makes sense to switch a ground type into an electric type. If I do get that call, that's really nice. If he does something else, then we'll deal with that when it happens. I wouldn't mind him staying in either. Obviously, you could tell it didn't do that much damage, so not a big threat. Dragapult switching in here would actually be pretty annoying as well. Okay, so it looks like he is going to stay in. And the Grass Pledged, it does some pretty good damage, despite the fact that it's not stab. And because he didn't switch there, I don't think he's going to switch the next move either. So I'm going to fire off my discharge now. That sounds really weird to say. That one wasn't on purpose. And the only reason that this would be a bad play is if the horse comes in now, which I don't think it will because I just used Grass Pledge. As far as he knows, I'm using Grass Pledge again, so it doesn't make sense to do that switch. Best case scenario, he brings in Dragapult and it gets paralyzed. 30% chance of that happening. Got the crit, didn't get the paralyzed. If I got the paralyzed there, basically game over. Didn't happen though. That's fine. Steelix comes in. As he does, you know what's going to happen. It's been happening. It's going to keep on happening. I'm asleep. I don't care. And I'm expecting to see something else that I haven't seen. So we've seen 4 so far. We've seen Jolteon, now Melodic. Wait, Jolteon, Melodic, Gramble, Abomasnow, Dragapult. So there's one I haven't seen. And you've seen this before too. I can switch into Cloister so free here. It's such a free switch. And getting in Cloister, anytime I can get in Cloister is just so nice. His Waterfall is going to do 15? I got flinched. It's a bit of a pain, but okay. I almost expect him to switch here. Why would you stay in with Melodic? he just gonna... Oh, that's a glitch. I kind of need those. It's not a glitch, but my gleams, man. I lost a gleam. I got flinched. I'm not supposed to lose a gleam on that. He's gonna set up. That's fine. I'm not worried. He might as well. It's not a bad play on his part. He's gonna have the problem that he has right now is he can set up all of these times, but he has to set up so much to do any damage to me at all. And it looks like it's gonna take me maybe 1 or 2 more hits, maybe 1 more hit and a shuriken. And there's melodic. That's 3. Really looking pretty good so far. The Granbull's not a threat at all. The Dragapult's actually not a threat either at this point. I almost might as well stay in here. I don't know what his last is, but I don't think it's anything. I think if he had the Arcanine, I would have seen it already. The only reason that I would want to keep my Cloyster at this point is for the Water Shuriken on Arcanine. That's the only reason I would need it. So that being said, I don't know. I'm just gonna Icicle Spear. I don't want him to do anything fancy on me. This again is not a great trade for me. If I hit 3 times and he hits his, he's doing a good trade. I got 5 again. I really actually don't want that to happen. I do genuinely feel bad when I get 5 hits. It's nice for me, but I do feel bad. Hopefully I get a 2 here to kind of even things out, because he should have been able to 1v1 me there. Did get the 3 again. I'll take it. Feel bad. Sorry for the luck. And that's 4 down. Dragapult and Mystery 6th remain. And he's in a really bad spot. It's going to be really hard for him to come back from here. Dragapult can come in. Might as well. As far as I'm concerned. If it does, I might do something fancy. I probably shouldn't, but I kind of want to. What you gonna do, pal? Aerodactyl. Okay. So of course I click Water Shuriken here. That is the last. So now we know his entire team. Aerodactyl, theoretically, and I talked about this with my stream earlier, but don't. Okay, 3. That's fine. That's fine. Aerodactyl, in theory, could 1v1 my entire team. I don't think Pel's gonna play that way, in a way that could happen, but it's possible. So this is an interesting matchup. This actually wasn't necessary, but I might as well do it this way. We have a speed tie here. Aerodactyl and Jolteon have the same base speed, and I know from his... This is actually something that I haven't told anybody, but my Jolteon has perfect speed. And I know that Pel's Aerodactyl also has perfect speed. The only reason I know that is because AIM's Jolteon also has perfect speed. And all of us have tied speed. Paralyzed would be the game ender. Didn't get it again. But I go back into Steelix, as I always do. And it's going to be really hard for him to deal with Steelix here. He just doesn't do damage to it with anything he has, except for one thing. There is one thing he has that can do damage to Steelix, and that is Fissure. If he switches directly into Aerodactyl now and clicks Fissure, he might have a chance, but it doesn't look like that's what he's going to do. And that would be a crazy play anyway. Absolutely insane if that's what he chooses to do. Doesn't look like it. I should wake up here. Of course, still not. That was maybe a crit. Yep, that was a crit. You can see how much damage the crit did there. Almost nothing. Dragapult's down. I did get a crit as well. A crit for a crit. And we just have the Aerodactyl as the final Pokemon in this battle. Let's see what it can do. It clicked fissure. It missed. That could have been incredibly important. He could have gone crazy if he hit fissure after fissure. It was unlikely, but it was possible. That is the final Pokemon. Thank you for the battle, Pel. That was terrifying. GG.